Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we have a very exciting review. We have a review for the Ptula Right Track collection, and the reason why this review is exciting is because I feel like this is the turning point for Ptula this year. I feel like I have, and you as customers have been expressing some discontent with some Ptula pieces, just wanting them to bring back some of the favorites, fixing the camel toe, etc. And you guys, we have some major progress today. So not only do we have the return of one of my favorite pieces to ever exist, the high flow pant, but they completely changed the gusset on the Sierra leggings, and they came out with a Sierra legging with no hidden scrunch, because some of you guys are just not here for a scrunch in every single legging, and I get it. So the Right Track collection will be launching on Sunday, June 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and my code Kathryn does give a 10% off and supports me, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, I couldn't be more excited about the color palette of this collection, because not only do we have a butter yellow, one of my faves, but we also have one of my other faves, which is a powder blue. So couldn't be happier about that. We also have this beautiful papaya color. And then for my darker color, Love and Girlies, we have black. I think there's a gray in the midst. And then we also have hunter green. I do wish that the darker colors could be paired a little bit better with the lighter colors. I just don't think these go super well together, but it's nice to see a good variety in the colors there. We have another Ptula update. We've long known the Sierra leggings as the Sierra leggings, but they're now changing it to Pureluxe. They've been kind of redoing some of their naming systems. So now the Sierra leggings and the Sierra fabric will both be known as Pureluxe. So it's the Pureluxe fabric on the Pureluxe legging, but they are the same as the Sierra leggings. But again, they did make a change to that gusset. They actually sent a pair for me to try because I've been complaining about the camel toe. So they were like, let us know if it's still causing it. I didn't have any issues, but we'll see after I take these on a little spin to the gym. That's the real test. So we are starting out with the Pureluxe Sculpt Leggings. So these are in that Sierra fabric. Again, it's just not what it's called anymore. We've seen these a bunch of times, but I am going to give them a full review now that they have some changes. So we have a double thickness waistband with no top band, no front seam. These tend to be between kind of a high, ultra high rise. Overall, these are a very simple legging, and then they completely changed the gusset. It is now an extended gusset. So it's an oval gusset that extends about to the knee area. And this is actually more similar to what they had in the beginning. I'll do a little photo close-up of all of the gussets, but the Sierra gusset started out as a slightly extended oval gusset. Then it got changed to a triangle gusset, and this is where we started having camel problems. And then now they've changed it to an extended gusset. So I really hope this helps with the camel issues. This is coming in a 23 and a 26-inch inseam. If you guys are unfamiliar with Ptula, very short, girl-friendly, but they still keep those classic 26-inch options. Then in the back, we have these slightly curved seams around the glutes. On the Pureluxe Sculpt leggings, they have the signature little droplet logo in silver, but they really made it smaller. So again, I do prefer tonal branding, but this is a nice silicone and it's small, so I am good with this branding. And then because these are the Pureluxe Sculpt leggings, we do have that elastic up the back rise to just give a little cheek separation, make them a little more flattering on the glutes. And then I'm just going to show a close-up of the Pureluxe fabric. It is brushed inside and out, kind of a mid-weight fabric. Can get a little bit warm in the summer, but not too bad, and just really soft. And I have had some pilling issues on like the very first renditions of the Sierras, but nothing anytime recently. So let's try these on. Okay guys, I think the Sierra leggings are finally wearable again for me. Before we get into it, I'll do a comparison between the OG Sierras and then the triangle gusset Sierras, which came out earlier this year, and then now finally this version. So other than the gusset change, which obviously makes a huge difference, the biggest other change is that the OG Sierras were more of an ultra high rise, and they have lowered the rise a little bit. I think I have measured like about 3/4 of an inch difference in the rise. So definitely appreciate that slightly lowered rise. And I would also say that this version of the Sierras fits more true to size. All right, here we are. Like I said, the rise was slightly lowered. So it does go like a tiny bit above my natural waist. So I would say it's like a high to ultra high, but it's not super overwhelming. So I like that. Double thickness waistband, no front seam. And then you have the gusset. So it is that extended gusset that goes down the leg, not visible in the crotch area from the front. I do feel a very slight amount of crotch tension because we do still have that elastic up the back rise, but it's definitely more comparable to the OG Sierras, where I really never had camel problems versus the most recent Sierras with a triangle gusset. Those were just honestly unwearable at the gym because of how uncomfortable and unsightly they were. So I'm feeling much better, but camel is a very individual thing. So there's obviously still a chance of camel problems, but I do think it's improved. I've been calling these Sierras, they're now the Pureluxe Sculpt Leggings. My apologies, but they are the same. So the Pureluxe fabric, about a mid-weight, brushed inside and out, medium compression, just has nice hold to it. And then we've no side seam. These are very simple legging, nicely curved seams in the back with that little elastic up the back rise. Give these a nice medium to high in the booty scale. You get a little glute contour moment. You do get a little bit of cellulite coverage, just not full cellulite proof. Just depends on the color that you get, but the fabric is a little bit on the thicker side. Very simple logo here that I love. Oh yeah, I would give these about a medium to high on the booty scale. And then we do a full length view. They hit right about the ankle for me. Classic 26-inch inseam. They also will be coming in a 23-inch. And I think this color is so fun. I don't have a lot of corals, oranges, and things like that. So very excited that these are back and with some new changes. This is all I wanted out of the Sierra leggings, which are now the Pureluxe Sculpt Leggings. Okay, I was just like sitting down for a while in these, just like doing some video notes, and I'm definitely still getting some settling. So I don't think it's as good as the first version of the Sierras, but it's definitely better than the last version. But again, it's all very individual. But I do think I'm really gonna like the Pureluxe classic leggings because it's just gonna be a classic Sierra with no tension. So I would love to see those in all of the colors. Then next we have the Pureluxe classic leggings. Basically Sierra leggings with that new extended gusset with no scrunch up the back. So if you're truly like, I'm not messing around with the camel toe anymore, I don't want any, this is not going to have that same tension. Anytime you have any sort of scrunch in the back, whether it be just a little elastic, an actual scrunch, or like a seamless style scrunch, there's always risk for some tension because you're kind of pulling everything up the cheeks there. It kind of wants to continue up the front parts. But depending on your anatomy, different leggings cause different problems. For me, like an Alphalete Amplify, never given me any camel, but the old Sierra leggings with that triangle gusset, had to stop wearing them to the gym because it was just very uncomfortable. So basically no scrunches going on here. Very similar to the last legging, double thickness waistband, no front seam, extended gusset. In the back, you have those slightly curved seams. Same back rise, you just don't have the elastic there. And then on these Pureluxe classic leggings, the branding is tonal silicone and it's still that little droplet logo. So I love the branding here. I was a little bit upset to see that the Pureluxe classic leggings are only coming in this hunter green and black. They don't come in any of the fun colors. So I bet they're just trying to see like how they sell to see if they want to bring them back. But let me know how you guys think about the scrunches. I think it's pretty 50-50. Who likes a scrunch? For me, it just depends on the day. These also come in 23 and 26-inch inseams. Okay, guys, Pureluxe classic leggings. If you've always loved the Sierra leggings but just aren't into the scrunch, we now have these. I think it's so great to see. Everyone got really caught up in the whole hidden scrunch, little elastic thing for a while, but I feel like we kind of lost it a little bit. Like it was on every legging and it's just nice to have the options. It doesn't need to be on every legging. So anyways, we have that basically high rise on these, kind of almost ultra high, right in between there, double thickness waistband, no front seam. Then we have that extended gusset. I already did a couple squats, sat in these, moved around a little bit, and I'm not getting any crotch tension in these at all. I don't normally get any tension or any camel toe issues ever in anything that doesn't have a scrunch. So I'm not surprised, but I just wanted to be sure. No side seam on these. Classic Pureluxe material, medium compression, has some good hold to it. Very, very stretchy though. That's one thing I love about this fabric as opposed to the Cassie fabric. That one was a little bit restricting. The Pureluxe has an endless stretch, which I really love. And then we get to the back. I'll say I do feel like it dips down a little bit in the back because I don't know if they elongated the back rise seam, but it's no longer going between the cheeks anymore. So I feel like it's kind of dragging it down a little bit. So I'd probably add like a little bit to that back rise just so it doesn't dip down like that. Does it bother me a lot? No, but just something I might suggest to them in the future. Seams do go right above the glutes, kind of more medium to long glute friendly. Most Ptula is more medium to long glute friendly. And these are just going to get a medium on the booty scale because as you can see, compared to the Pureluxe Sculpt leggings, you don't get that seam going between the cheeks at all. So it's definitely not hurting the glutes, but it's not really giving you any boost either. But that's the price we pay for not having any camel toe, which honestly, that's what I'm all about these days because I couldn't even wear the old Sierra leggings because they caused me so many problems. Anyways, in the colors that this one comes in, you're definitely going to get a good amount of cellulite coverage. And then full length view comes in 26 and 23-inch inseam around ankle length. With all Sierra leggings, again, now Pureluxe, whatever, they always run a little bit on the snug side. I'm I'm fine. I'm happy with my size small, which is my normal size, but if you're in between, I definitely would be sizing up. Very happy to see these. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys always team scrunch, or do you like having the option? Next up, we have the Pureluxe Sculpt shorts and the Pureluxe Classic shorts. I did get a pair of Pureluxe Sculpt shorts. They're just a little delayed and I wanted to get this video filmed. So when I get them, I will try them on. But basically the same changes that were made to the Sierra leggings, now Pureluxe leggings, are going to apply to those shorts as well. And then they also will be coming in the non-scrunch sculpt version. I did get the yellow to squat test for you guys, but also because I love a yellow. And why do brands only make yellow shorts? If you're willing to risk the squat proofness for a yellow short, just give me a legging too. I think the only brand that has ever given me a yellow legging might be Paragon. Buff Bunny did give me a yellow legging, a darker yellow, but just give me a yellow legging. All right, I got my shorts in. So these are hitting almost at a high rise, just a little bit above, basically at the small of my waist, double thickness waistband, no front seam. The gusset goes all the way down to the inseam on the shorts. These are the 6-inch. They are mostly true to size, but in general, their bottoms on the Sierra collection run just a little bit on the smaller side. So I could probably do a medium as well. If you like a little bit more room in your shorts, definitely size up. No front seam in the back, medium behind the booty scale. We got that hidden scrunch there, a little bit of cellulite coverage in the Sierra fabric, now the Pureluxe fabric. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that. And I'd say mostly thick thigh friendly as well. They're quite stretchy on the thighs. I did wear these to the gym this morning, and while I was still getting a little bit of crotch tension, it wasn't nearly as bad as old versions, and I'm definitely able to wear them, and I'm going to keep wearing them. So I'm definitely liking the changes. As for the yellow, I can't really see my nude underwear under them. I'm sure they're not going to be fully squat proof, but for me, they were good enough to wear to the gym. All right, next for bottoms, we have the Pureluxe Tennis Skort. I'm a little hesitant about this one because I don't like skirts. They're too snug. I kind of like them to flare away from the body, so I'm hoping that this still does that. But anyways, I got it in this beautiful yellow color. We have a legging style waistband, double thickness. Looks like it's going to be a nice high rise. No top band. Then we have a little slit at the front here, and then the back is just flat across with tonal silicone little droplet logo. Super cute, subtle branding. And then we have the inner shorts with the no front seam, so they're not causing us any problems. The inseam on the shorts is quite itty bitty. It is a 2.5-inch inseam, so we'll see if that can contain my cheeks. But then we have 2 side pockets on those inner shorts and no scrunch or elastic anything up that back rise seam. So let's try this on. Okay, before I adjust the skirt, I just want to show you what happens when you got some booty and you have one of these tight skirts. It likes to get caught up over the skirt or over your glutes. Anyways, we have the skirt. We have basically an ultra high rise above the belly button, double thickness waistband, very soft. I love a legging style waistband on a skirt. And then you have those 2 seams down the front, give a little slit at the bottom, which I think is a nice touch. The shorts on the inside, no front seam, so no discomfort there. Very short on the inseam, it's about 2.5 inches. And then we have those side pockets. See how it fits a phone. So it doesn't fully fit, but it's also not gonna fall out. So pretty good pockets there. And then we can see the shorts in the back are kind of just barely covering my cheeks. 2.5 inches is just not very long, so just keep that in mind. The overall skirt length from the top of the waistband to the bottom of the skirt is 14 inches, which is definitely on the shorter side, especially since I feel like a lot of that is the ultra high rise. So that being said, when we look in the back, especially if you have glutes too, it just kind of lifts the skirt up, and it's just a super, super short skirt. And I'm very tall, and I just prefer a little bit more length out of my skirts, especially when I feel like this kind of barely covers my butt. It is super cute if you're short. I just personally like a little bit longer of a skirt, so that's just a personal preference thing. I do think it, again, rides up a little bit on the glutes in the back there, which is another problem, and it's definitely more of a slim fitting skirt overall, so more like a Lululemon aligned skirt. I prefer skirts with a little bit more movement just because they just drape along the body better. They don't ride up like this and the aligned skirt do. But if you're looking for a slimmer type skirt, I do think it's really cute, and I obviously love having the yellow option. So will I still wear it? Yes. Would it be my top pick out of all my skirts? No. Just one more view of the back, straight across waistband with the very subtle branding there. Then we're getting into some sports bras. First, we have the Pureluxe Duo bra. This little layered look. I've been dying to get into the layered sports bra look, and Buff Bunny and Ptula have done it this month. So very excited for that. And it also looks like it's going to have a good amount of coverage. That's another thing about these little layered bras, is that you kind of have to have a good amount of coverage because there's 2 layers. So it's made of the Pureluxe fabric. It has just a classic cami shape, and it really is 2 camis kind of sewn together at the bottom. There is a little 1/4 inch elastic along the bottom to keep you nice and secure. Both sets of straps are adjustable. You get a little Ptula droplet logo on the back right. The one reason I'm hesitant about this bra is that it's just the 2 layers of the fabric, and they didn't have a space for cup pads or anything. So I really do like a cup pad. So I really would have liked to see this inner white layer have cup pad space and then just lay the yellow on top of it. But hopefully the 2 layers is enough. Let's try it on. All right, here's the Pureluxe Duo Bra. So I love the shape of this one. First of all, very true to size. In between, you can really go either way. Go with your normal size. Absolutely. Coverage is really good too. Medium to full coverage. If you're a really small bust, definitely going to be full coverage. And I just love the little delicate design. I love the strappy moment. This is definitely on trend right now. Lots of people are doing this little double layer design. We just had one from Buff Bunny. Except for this one, you only see the layering at the top. At the bottom, they're sewn together with that little elastic, which keeps it nice and secure in the underbust. So I really like having that little hidden elastic there. The support is about a light to medium, not super low, but I wouldn't go running in it. And then adjustable straps in the back. Both straps are adjustable. You still get that little double layer action in the back there. I think my main critique with this bra is that I'm just a cup pad girl. I would love to have cup pads in this bra. I did throw a pair of cakes in there, which they definitely work for what I need, but I just prefer to have the cup pads in just like a little extra thickness there, because even though it's 2 layers of the Pureluxe fabric, you definitely still can get nippage. So yeah, what do you guys think of the little double layer trend? The next sports bra is another little layered moment. We have the Refine Racerback sports bra. So this is going to be more of a plunging situation. Still helpful, but has good coverage though. Made of the Pureluxe material. This one is not a true layered sports bra. It just kind of has the illusion that it's layered. That being said, we actually have cup pads in this one, so I like that. So we have this plunging kind of wrap detail here. We have a nice little half elastic along the bottom to keep you nice and secure. Then in the back, very subtle branding. I love how small and cute they made the little Ptula logo here. It's just, that was another one of my complaints about Ptula. I was like, stop with the really like large word mark branding that no one wanted, and they switched it back. So I'm very glad to see that. Then we have this nice little like racerback, but it's a little bit different. It's more like geometric looking in the back here. So let's try this one on. Okay, here's the Refine Racerback top. And honestly, pretty disappointed in this one. I should know, Ptula makes these very wide set bras, and this is one of them. I also feel like this runs big. Like it just feels like it has a lot of room at the sides here. And honestly, Ptula is very hit or miss with bras, like 75% miss, 25% hit when we're talking about like larger busts friendly options. And I was kind of hoping for this one because the actual coverage is not bad. It's just, I'm gonna fall straight out the middle of this one. So anyways, in terms of sizing, I'm going to see if I can get a size down so that I can compare them. I think I'd be happier with an extra small. That does tend to happen recently with Ptula bras. I have been needing to size down to an extra small. Although I do feel like this launch is a step in the right direction. I would like to see the sizing fixed because they've changed their sizing to the smallest size being an extra small. And if I, as a 32 double D, am an extra small and that's the smallest size, I just feel like that's an issue. So runs a little big. That's going to try a smaller size, hopefully. We have that little elastic around the bottom, which makes it nice and secure. Pureluxe fabric is nice and soft, very thick. It has some good compression to it as well. Because this is running a little big, I'm not getting a ton of lift. And overall coverage, I would say low to medium. And support, definitely low in this current size. I do like the little contrast detailing. I think it has this nice little taper, very cute. And then I think the racerback is very unique. I kind of just like the geometric angular shape of it. Very open for the lats. So this would be a very comfortable bra to work out in. I just think I need to try a smaller size. If you are a smaller bust and a little bit more wide set, I think this would be good for you. But honestly, for everyone, I would consider sizing down. I got the extra small bra, just wanted to quickly pop on. It definitely fits better, so I do recommend sizing down, but it's still for the wide set girlies. Ptula does this a lot. I guess all of their fit models just have very wide set chests, but I do not. I'm already falling out of this, and I just would not stay in this at the gym. It does fit better. It still is gaping a little bit at the sides here. I really wish that they would do some more bras that, like, there's only one bra on this whole launch that I can actually wear, and it's just kind of a bummer. So you can just see how open this neckline is, and it's definitely a little bit much. So it's better in this. I'd be risking it wearing it to the gym. And I did not get one in this launch, but the Pureluxe bramis, those are going to be the same as the Sierra bramis. I think they just called it the brami before, but I'll grab one of the others from my closet. It will be the same built-in bra, high neck, and more of a waist length fit. All right, I pulled out one of my old Sierra bramis. So this is now the Pureluxe brami, but it is the same style. So Pureluxe fabric, nice and soft. We have this high neckline with a little bit of scoop away from the armpit. So I'd say it's full coverage, but you do get like a little bit of armpit there, not too much. This is kind of where those cut pads that are a little too rigid come back into play. I just feel like they kind of, you can see them a little bit on this top. Full built-in shelf liner with the cut pads, obviously underbust elastic. So the support on this one's actually decent. It's about a medium support. The length on this one, you'll see the tennis tank in a second, which goes over the top of this one. This one I would still consider a cropped length. The tennis tank goes over my belly button, so it's actually a couple inches longer. This one I would consider a longer crop because a lot of crops are like this cropped. This one still has a little bit more length, but for me, it's not a meet and greet. I do still show a little bit of skin. Then the back is very simple on this one. The last issue with this bra is that it can be really tight up in this little trap area here. So if you have big traps, consider sizing up, or just know that you might get a little bit of discomfort. I will say it doesn't often bother me on this one, but I probably wouldn't choose it to wear for like, you know, a full day, just because I know I'd get a little bit of irritation. But we do have a new brami in the mix here. This is the Pureluxe tennis tank, and I'm very excited to try this. I hope it's good because the shape of this is definitely promising. I don't always want a high neck, but I like longer tanks. So this looks like the perfect waist length high hip top. So it's made of the Pureluxe material. We have a soft V-neck, classic kind of cami shape, just little spaghetti straps. They are adjustable, Ptula logo in the back, and full built-in shelf liner with an underbust elastic and cup pads. I feel like this would pair perfectly with honestly anything in this collection, but especially the little skirt. Let's try it on. We have the tennis tank. I rolled down the waistband on the shorts, but if you have the shorts where they're supposed to be, you get that perfect, like slight overlap even. It's not even just meet and greet, it's a little bit of overlap. So it's a long torso girly. I'm so done with all the crops that were basically bras. I never liked those. And to finally have tops that are like actual tops that aren't like, you know, down to your butt, but like just the perfect length to wear with leggings. This is what I'm talking about. I love the top. Very true to size. If you're in between, you can go either way. I think it fits nice and snugly in the bust area. Fits true to size for bras, and it's snug everywhere. It's not baggy anywhere. So I think it runs a little bit more on the snug side, but I would still say it's very true to size. So I'd say medium to full coverage up at the top. You just get a little peak with the soft V neckline, but I'm definitely not falling out of it. I'm not being pushed out of it, which is really great. We have those adjustable spaghetti straps. It does have that full built-in shelf liner with underbust elastic and cup pads. Another critique I do have for Ptula is that their cup pads are just very rigid, and if they don't fit your bust like perfectly, you can kind of see the outline of them. I did have to adjust these into position so that they weren't quite so obvious, but they just have a lot of rigidity to them. And then by contrast, this is a Buff Bunny cup pad. It just has a little bit more taper to the edges, not quite as thick in the middle. It just has so much more movement to it, and I feel like it just like contours to your bust better, where this one just kind of like can be a little rigid. So I wish they would get different cuff pads. All right, looking at the length, I would say that this is between a waist and a high hip length. So here are my hip bones, and this is why I had this roll down, just so we could see. It's definitely longer than a cropped length. It goes to the smallest point of my waist, maybe a little bit beyond. So for most people, probably a high hip length, but really good length to it, especially when wearing a high-rise legging or any high-rise bottom. You're just gonna get that perfect amount of coverage. I just love it. Love it. This is definitely a top pick. Then we just have simple adjustable straps in the back. I definitely prefer this over the brami. The brami, I just don't always like a high neck. I think this neckline is a lot more flattering on me and honestly more comfortable. The brami can cut into the traps, and this isn't going to do that. So really hope we see this back. This is such a good top. There also will be a Pureluxe Total Knockout bras. I stopped ordering this one unless it was the only bra option, because this is truly a small bust friendly bra. Again, I'll just grab one from my closet for a quick try on, but you have this cute kind of double V situation in the front, V-neck and inverted V on the waist, and very open strappy back with a lot of adjustability. So let's try it on. All right. Haven't reviewed the Total Knockout bra on my channel yet because I reviewed it on Instagram stories before, but this is launched a couple times. It almost works for me, but definitely super cute for the smaller cup size girlies. Like, I would love to wear this bra if I didn't fall out of it at the gym. I have worn it to the gym, but I did feel very uncomfortable. So true to size, if you're in between, you could really go either way. You could probably size up for a little bit more coverage. Plunging V neckline, and you also have the inverted V along the waistband there, which I think is a really cute design. Little elastic there, just to kind of keep you contained, although I have had under boob happen in this bra. So low to medium coverage. I think it's just a little bit too wide for me. A little bit of side boob there, not very much. And the support is pretty low. And then I think what's so great about this bra is they made every strap adjustable. You have this crisscross have. Those are adjustable. And these little bra band straps at the bottom are also adjustable. So you just get so much adjustability here, which I think is a great thing to do for a strappy bra like this, because if it's possible, why not make them adjustable? So I would say this one is not large cup size friendly. Personally, can't wear this one, but it is very cute for a lower coverage strappy option. Next, guys. This is what I've been begging Ptula for 2 years. Ever since they came out with these pants, I fell in love with them. These are the high flow pants. These pants are the absolute best pants for summer. If you're someone who doesn't want to wear shorts all summer and you're looking for something that's like good for errands, lounging, I take this from in to out of the house, and these are just the best pants. I have 2 pairs, and one of my pairs, I got a stain on them almost immediately. I was like doing my nails and I got like acrylic on them. It was just never gonna come off of any clothing. I still wear them all the time, even though I have a little stain, because I love them so much. Anyways, the high flow pants, they come in a 29 and a 32 inch inseam. I have the 32 inch. And keep in mind, it does fit a little bit longer just because they are a looser style pant. So they're plenty long on me. They have this elastic waistband with the Pureluxe fabric lining the inside. So nice and soft along the inside. And then they do have this little sewn on logo at the front here. In this green, they chose to make it tonal. In the navy and the gray, you can see the Ptula word a little bit more. And Pinto's being taken to lunch right now. That's how spoiled he is. Ian has to come grab him and take him to lunch. Anyways, then we get to the base of the pant, and it's this basically a soft shell material, polyester spandex, but it's just incredibly lightweight, has some stretch to it, has a lot of flow to it, and it's completely pet fur friendly. I have a black pair. I can wear them, I can sit on the couch, and then I can go out to the grocery store if I need to, which is like unheard of for pants for me. You know, if you have 2 white cats. I know Pinto's not really that white, but his fur, his undercoat is like kind of white. Anyways, we have 2 front pockets. I was hesitant on what size to get because in the past they did run a little bit big, so I got a size small. I'll try on my extra small for you guys. I'll probably have to order another pair of these come launch because I truly love these pants so much. One of my favorite things to ever exist, and I do not say that lightly. So let's try them on. Okay, you guys. We have the flow pants. My obsession has returned. I just love these pants so much. I literally have my 2 old pairs right here. When I tell you these are at the front of my like most worn clothing drawer, like I have a little drawer in my bedroom for clothes that I wear all the time, where I don't want to have to go to my office to go get them. Oh, hey, Pits. We have a guest. We have a Pinto. How are you? He's so sweet. Yeah. Anyways, I've had these for 2 years. I wear them all the time. I wash and I dry them. I throw them in the dryer. They don't shrink. I will say I do get like a little bit of fuzziness along the Pureluxe lining part, but you don't really see it. The rest of them are in perfect shape, no pilling. This section does not shrink. I would know because it would be too short for me if they did. So anyways, we have more colors. I will be ordering the light gray color so I can have more because I will not miss the opportunity to get more of these pants. I love them so much. You guys know I'm not easily impressed with things. I like, in general, I don't like most things. I love these. So anyways, we have a high rise. You can definitely pull them up higher, but they just kind of want to settle at the smallest point of your waist. We have that waistband, has an elastic in it. I like that on this hunter green color, the branding is very subtle. Nice and soft on the inside because it has that Pureluxe lining. You can roll these over. And I do occasionally do that on my size smalls. I have a small and an extra small. I really wear them both pretty equally. I don't think it's a huge deal which size you go for, but I will be ordering my other color in the extra small just because honestly it depends on my mood for the day. So I think my general sizing recommendation is to size down just because they're still very flowy in the size down and the waist is still not even super tight, but we can see there's a little bit of extra room in the waist here. I've just kind of come to terms with that being like part of the flowy fit. So absolutely can size down. They'll still have a lot of flow to them. Not only do they have low, they also have stretch. We have 2 front pockets here. I will say if you put stuff in the pockets, it does get a little bit weighed down. It's not enough for me to not use the pockets, but whenever you have a loose material, that's something that can happen. And then in the back, very simple, but you know, you think in a little cheek moment, I'd say they're actually flattering. They're not like a loose style legging, like an Honor Active soft motion pant that are like tight until the thighs, where you really get like a little moment back there, but I still think they're flattering. And then I'll do a final confirmation on the inseam, but I believe they're a 32-inch inseam, but they come in a 29 and it's either 31 or 32. And these, as a 5'9" girly, usually 31, 32 is not long enough for me. Because these are a looser fit, they don't fit like all the way up at the crotch. You get a little bit more length out of them. So they actually hit the floor. I'd say if you're still questioning the sizing, I definitely get a longer fit on my smalls versus my extra smalls. My extra smalls don't really drag on the ground. So that's another benefit of having the extra small. You can also kind of shorten them a little bit if you roll the waist. You can see, then they don't drag on the ground at all. But yeah, if you live somewhere hot and you need a nice summer pant, I cannot recommend these enough. I love them. I wish we were getting some more fun colors because mostly neutrals, but I have to be done now. I just love these so much. One last thing about my flow pants is I feel like they kind of sit a little bit lower in the size small. So I will be getting an extra small, and I do recommend sizing down. I just wasn't sure if they had adjusted the sizing, so I definitely prefer the size down. Popping in to quickly touch on length for the flow pants, the taller inseam I would say is between 31 and 32. My gray pair that I just got in is more like 31.75, and the green is definitely 32. And for my long leg tall girlies, for reference, I'm 5'9" and generally prefer like a 34-inch inseam for flare leggings. The 32-inch inseam on the pants hits the floor for me because they are a loose style and you get a little bit of a drop crotch. So you do really get like an extra 2 inches out of them. So I would say if you're 5'8" and above, I would go for the long version. But if you are 5'7" and below, honestly, they might be dragging on the floor because the green for me even drags on the floor. I also showed the difference between the extra small and the small in terms of the length. The small, because it's a little bit more fitted on the waist, sits up a little bit higher. So I get about an inch less. So actually I prefer the length of that one. But I would say the 32-inch would probably be good enough even if you're like 5'11", approaching 6 feet, because they are actually pretty long. Next, we have the flow skirt. I did not get this one. I only had a certain number of pieces that I could pick, and I just don't really wear skirts that much. So it just didn't seem like something I should prioritize, but basically very similar to the flow pants. You have that similar style waistband that's lined with the Pureluxe fabric, so it's nice and soft against the skin. You have the patch logo at the front. The built-in shorts are made of the Pureluxe fabric with no front seam and side pockets. And then the outer flowy material is the same material as the flow pants. So lots of flow to it. Definitely more of like a casual lounge skirt. I think it's super cute. Our last flow piece that I got is the flow track shorts. These looked super cute. Basically very similar to that tennis skirt, except the outer layer is shorts and it's also made of that flow material. So we have a double thickness waistband, no top band in the front, but there is a little top band just in the back because they added a little pocket in the back waistband there. Not really sure why they needed that back pocket when they do have pockets on the inner short, but anyway. Then we have this kind of double short look. We have the flowy soft shell flow material on the outside that kind of has a little flouncy look, which I think is super cute. Then you have the full-on inner shorts, no front seam with side pockets. Really elevated Ptula branding on the side. I love that they are really just taking these new logos and everything seriously. Let me just do a quick inseam measurement for you guys. Okay, the inner inseam is 3.5 inches, much better than that skirt. And the outer inseam is 2.5 inches. So let's try this on. Okay, rolled up the top for this so we could properly see the shorts, but here are the shorts, and it's really hard to do a loose style short like this, and I actually feel like they did a great job. This is definitely better than Ptula loose shorts that we've had in the past that I feel like just have kind of almost a diapery fit. We're not getting diaper in this short. So the rise, it is ultra high. I think it could have been maybe a half an inch shorter. It's going well above the belly button. The small of my waist is about here. No top band in the front portion here, and the waistband and inner lining are made of the Pureluxe material. So it does get a little bit warm. You're not getting like a super lightweight short because you do have that thick material on the inside, unfortunately. But for spring and fall, I'll definitely get my use out of this. So we have the flow soft shell outer material, got some stretch to it, which it's hard to find an outer material like this that has stretch to it, but it also has the perfect amount of like skirtiness to it. I love how it comes up on the sides, shows a little bit of the short, but then kind of dives back down. Like the inner shorts aren't awkwardly long, which sometimes shorts are. Compared to the skirt, the inner shorts are quite a bit longer. I believe these are a 3.5 inch inseam, so they're actually covering the cheeks, which is amazing. And I think we have a little bit more room in the side pockets here. Yeah, more room in the side pockets. My phone fully fits. I also really like the Ptula subtle tonal branding going on at the bottom here. So thick thigh friendly, I would say yes, because I'm not getting super squeezed in the thigh area. And then I always like to rate looser shorts like this if they are curvy friendly, if they gape in the waist, or they skim the glutes too much with a larger hip and waist discrepancy. And they actually don't. I would say they're not giving diaper. They have a good amount of flow to them still, and just a good amount of extra fabric in a way that's not bulky, but just kind of perfectly fits. So if you are very curvy back there, shouldn't be a problem. Not getting any gaping in the waistband. And then we do have that little hidden waistband pocket with that little elastic just along the back. I don't really think they need this pocket. I think I could do without it. I rarely like a waistband pocket, especially because we already have 2 pockets down here. I don't really need this third one, but I appreciate them putting it there. And would I run in these? No, because I just don't run in shorts like this. I honestly rarely run in any loose style shorts, but when I do, I prefer the brief liner. It's just more for my thighs to eat up My thighs will eat these up. That's the thing with all loose shorts. It is not specific to these. So I'd say these are another top pick if you are in the market for a cute little loose short like this. I think this is very fun, flirty, and cute. They also will be having flow track jackets. Again, I was limited on my pieces, so I didn't get this one. I do wear my flow zip jacket quite a bit, but this one had a slightly different design and looked more cropped, and I just feel like I like a longer jacket. I don't know how cropped this one is, but it looks like I would show a little bit of skin on it. So basically, you have a zipped jacket that is made of that flow material. It has a cinched elastic hem at the bottom and little cinched sleeves as well, and then a cute little ruched detail down the sleeves, just a little bit more going on with the jacket. And the length of the jacket is 18.5 inches, so probably would be like a waist to high hip length depending on your height, and this would go with any of those flow pieces. Lastly, we have the ribbed baby tee. A very lightweight, flowy, ribbed material. It's a poly rayon spandex blend. We have a crew neck, short sleeves, and the body length is 19.5 inches. So kind of that like high hip cropped length. I do just want to compare this to the Buff Bunny Nimbus rib tees that just launched. The Buff Bunny ones do feel a little bit more heavyweight and maybe a little bit more fitted. I do feel like the Ptula one is just a little bit more of a relaxed fit. And then the Buff Bunny definitely has a longer length. This one is meant to be a baby tee. The Buff Bunny is meant to be a full length. So let's try this on. All right, here is the ribbed baby tee. So this is a size small and it is a little bit loose in this size. It's snug over the bust, but I would say overall the fit is slightly relaxed. So if you want a more snug, like true baby tee fit, I would size down. The length on this one is, I would say it's about a high hip. It's kind of between waist and high hip. If I lift my arms, I show a little bit of skin, but these shorts are ultra high rise, so we're not showing anything there. So kind of classic baby tee length, crew neck, short sleeves. The fabric is very lightweight. You can definitely tell it has modal in it. I love tops with modal because they just have good stretch and just like a nice kind of flowy, almost cool fit. And then the back is very simple. Is this my favorite baby tee? No, I wish it was a little bit more of a snug fit. That's just personal preference. And I am wearing just like a pale pink bra under this and you can see it. So the lighter colors are sheer. Kind of a common theme with a lot of baby tees. It's not just this one, but this probably wouldn't be my top pick baby tee. I think I prefer the material of the Buff Bunny ribbed tees that just came out because that one actually was a lot more opaque than this one and I liked the slightly longer length. But if this is what you're looking for, definitely not bad. Lastly, we have their Comfort quarter zip. This is one in a different color from the last launch. Just would like to see. So it's a 70% cotton, 30% polyester, kind of mid-weight fleece. Has that classic sweatshirt feel on the outside and a soft fleece on the inside. It is a quarter zip with a ribbed collar and ribbed cuffs. Slightly oversized fit as Ptula always does. And honestly, I just don't really love this sweatshirt. I feel like Ptula has done a lot better of materials. Like I usually like their more plush fleece or their favorite hoodie material that has a little bit of stretch to it. This one just feels very basic and just didn't really love it. And we also don't even have any pockets. I feel like you need to have like a front kangaroo pocket if you're gonna do a quarter zip. So honestly, this one is a skip for me, but let's do a quick try on. Comfort quarter zip. Overall, it's true to size for a relaxed fit. So I'd say this fits kind of like a women's medium to large almost, and this is a size small. So you do get a little bit of an oversized fit. I think it's cute. I do like the sizing here. The length is over the hip. I would just call it an over the hip length. My hip bones are right here and it does go over the glutes a little bit there. Not my favorite length for sweatshirts. I kind of prefer a more cinched in waist to hit right at the top of my hips. It just gives me a little bit more shape, but if you like a longer sweatshirt, this is for you. Doesn't fully cover the glutes though. We do have that quarter zip with the ribbed collar there, so pretty high neck. A bit of a drop shoulder and a slightly loose sleeve here with the cuffs. Sleeves are plenty long. Again, no pocket there. And then the back is very simple. I just don't really feel like this feels like the best. I'm sure the quality is fine, but it just feels very basic for a sweatshirt. It's just a cotton polyester. I prefer something with a little bit more excitement to it, like a little bit of stretch maybe. I feel like a lot of Ptula sweatshirts in the past have really stood out to me and I would reach for them over my other sweatshirts, and this sweatshirt I just wouldn't really reach for. I just don't see myself getting a lot of use out of it. I personally would skip this one. Okay guys, that is everything launching for Ptula. Again, this launch is happening on Sunday, June 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and you can use my code Kathryn for a discount. I wanted to go over my top picks of the launch. Number one top pick, say it with me, high flow pant. high flow pant. If it was coming in more colors that I like I already have the black and I don't really want navy, I'd be getting all the colors. So highly recommend these pants. I literally just live in them. I've yapped about them enough. Other top pick, definitely the tennis tank. I love this top. It's simple, but it's really just well done and perfect length. I love it. Love the colors that it comes in. Pureluxe classic leggings. I really like to see that we have an option without a scrunch. I would say the Pureluxe Sculpt leggings are getting a little bit of tension in them. So, and then the flow track shorts are really great if you're on the market for a style of short like that. And then I liked the duo bra, which had the cut pants. So I'd say my 3 top picks would be tennis tank, high flow pant, and the flow shorts. Let me know if you guys have any comments down below. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.